Back to MLS we go. After 16 years, Peter Vermes and Sporting KC have agreed to mutually part ways. During his extended tenure, Vermes won 4 major championships and 11 playoff appearances. He said it would, quote, be hard to list all the people I want to thank after 20 seasons in managerial positions at Sporting Kansas City. I mean, such a long tenure that we're seeing, and it's very rare to see it, especially in soccer as a manager. We saw that with Peter Vermes. What are your immediate reactions when you saw this news?
Well, it's surprisingly, I had an old teammate of mine reach out yesterday and ask me if I thought Peter Vermes would be fired by Sporting Kansas City. I just thought it was awkward, and my immediate reaction was like, no, well, they're not going to do anything because they've never done anything. And in Peter Vermes, you have absolute power in Sporting Kansas City. You're talking about an individual who was not only the coach, but was also the GM, sporting director, also called the shots when it came to contracts. I played for Sporting Kansas City, or excuse me, the Kansas City Wizards before they were Sporting Kansas City. My general manager was Peter Vermes, or sporting director. I can't remember what he was, but he was in charge. Sporting director was Peter Vermes. It was Curtin Alpha who was coach. Peter Vermes decided to let go of Curtin Alpha and then become the coach himself. From that moment on, it's been absolutely the Peter Vermes show, and for the longest time, it was thriving. Yep. Sporting Kansas City owe a lot to Peter Vermes. Yep. Nobody can take away what he's done for the city of Kansas City, for Sporting Kansas City, what he's created, but they were stuck in the past. And the inability to move forward was evident. And it's not until fans voice their opinion about how they won't stand if Peter Vermes is still the coach and they won't come to the games that the ownership group started taking things seriously and decided to dismiss Peter Vermes. But in Peter Vermes, you had a guy that absolutely called all the shots. Evidence of that is they hired Gavin Wilkinson as a GM. And we all know Gavin Wilkinson's checkered past with the Portland Thorns. And there was a fan uproar, and then he quickly got rid of that. Quickly got rid of him. But it shows the absolute power that Peter Vermes had of calling who he wanted to be his boss. This is a situation now where Kansas City, Sporting Kansas City, could have a healthy way to move forward. But it's still very much a Peter Vermes team, and Peter Vermes' mistakes throughout the years that have put Kansas City in this position today.
To me, it's a decision that comes like 4 months late. That's the part. It's a shock for a manager that has been in charge for so long. This is comparable to Alex Ferguson getting sacked of Manchester United, or Arsene Wenger getting sacked of Arsenal.
I was thinking of Bill Belichick with the Patriots.
You know who I thought of?
Ways.
I thought of Tuca Ferretti. That's who I thought of down in Mexico. There's similar personalities as well.
And you've got someone who really identified himself or merged himself with the brand of your team. You need to give him a proper goodbye.
Correct.
You need to do things properly, because this season, this is what they did with this season. Sporting Kansas City. It just started, but he not only was the manager of the team, he built that squad. For you. He built that squad. And now the players are different. They signed Joveljic, they signed Manu Garcia, the Spaniard as a designated players. And now this season just is over for them. This should have been done differently, should have been done better, earlier, and in a professional way.
There are two sides of this. The first side is you have to, as Alex is saying, is you have to pay respects to a legendary coach within your club who gave you championships. That is the first step. You have to pay homage there. The second, with a dignified exit. The second, which would have been not signing him for this season.
Exactly.
The second is you have to hold them accountable for the lack of success in the better part of the last 7 years.
Yeah. Which is a long time.
If not more. And some of that success that he has had sprinkled in maybe is papering over the cracks, like a win over St. Louis in the playoff game that made you forget about a dreadful season. Open Cup finals, absolutely, as the producer reminded me, that made you forget about dreadful Major League Soccer seasons. But the people in Kansas City, who I think are very sophisticated when it comes to watching their game, when it comes to the brand, who have considered themselves for the longest time, Soccer City USA, that was their mantra, have grown tired of the Peter Vermes brand. So there's two sides to that.
And he achieved something pretty remarkable. You knew what to expect before watching a Sporting Kansas City game. You knew exactly what you would. Excuse me, what you would find. So 4-3-3, the kind of European style of playing, high pressing, wingers, just this modern style that is so hard to achieve for new franchises that try to establish an identity, a style. He did it with Sporting Kansas City. That's my point. He deserved a little bit more of a respect.
Yeah, he does deserve more respect, but his final years was the phasing out of the Susies, the Matt Beaslers, the Roger Espinosas, bad decision making as well. You know, bringing in Alan Pulido, who could tell he's going to get injured, but that didn't go well. Ilie Sanchez let him go, and seeing how he thrived at LAFC. There's so many bad decisions that were made that have led to this moment.
Yeah, long-ish time coming at least. So this definitely gives Sporting KC now a nice look ahead. Although whoever takes over as permanent head coach, yeah, it's going to be a difficult job getting used to a new face around Sporting Kansas City.